Hello and welcome to the weather update. It's 8 p.m. October 20th, 2020, and a very disgusting day across the area today. Very disgusting, very humid, and we did get a little rain out there. Warm, just very highly abnormal for October to have weather like this. Um, so, all right, we'll get started with what it was like today in our area, and then we'll talk about Epsilon. Right here in Carl Place, 63 degrees. Now remember, the normal high is supposed to be 63. All right, here we are at 7:50 at night. The dew point is 61, and it managed to hit 72 at Carl Place. And we're going to look at some of the historical observations here for Carl Place, and I'll show you. It was really brutal in the all right, after like 3-4 o'clock. The sun came out, and temperatures went into the 70s, and dew points rose into the mid 60s. Very almost August-like weather, late August-like weather. Really uncomfortable out there with the humidity, and there was no sea breeze. And then the sea breeze came in, dropped things off a little bit, but now it's died down again, and we're dealing with some of these uncomfortable conditions again across the area. Again, this is October, and yeah, the air conditioner's on because this is the world we live in now with climate change. We'll compare it with Wantor, where it's not really that much better. It's 63 with a dew point of 62. Their high was 70, so we'll just want to compare it to the South Shore, and let's see what they were today. So they were not quite as bad because they had the sea breeze, of course, on the South Shore. That's the number one reason why I like to go to the South Shore, actually, that I managed to leave out, believe it or not, is because it's cooler there. That is the number one reason. Because I cannot take this warm, humid air. I just cannot deal with it. So let's take a look at where the hot box, Tom's River. Let's see what Tom's River is. The Miller Airport, 63 with a dew point of 63. Humidity 100%. Very sultry out there. Let's see what they got up to today. They managed to get up to, actually it should have the high in there. Okay, well. Looks like, again, very sultry and no sea breeze there, so they were pretty much dying. Let's see, so their high was, let's see, historical observations. They don't have the high listed here. Alright, well, we'll go ahead and we'll just display all the high temperatures for our areas. And there was also some rain today, too, so we'll do that, too. So we'll go to the historical, and we'll look at the high temperatures today. Of course, yeah, because it was very abnormal. So let's go to the high temperature for today across the area, so we'll get all the highs on the map. And you'll see we had low 70s across much of the area. Very abnormal. It's about almost 10 degrees above normal. The East End never saw the sun, so it wasn't as hot there. But it got warm in Nassau County. The city, North Jersey, mid-70s. Yeah, actually mid-70s in a large part of New Jersey. Actually, they had it even worse. 75 at McGuire Air Force Base. So that's like 10 degrees above normal for this time of the year. Very unusual. And we didn't think we were going to be dealing with this week either, which is the other thing that's kind of frustrating about it. So let's look at the precipitation since midnight, and we'll take a look because we did get a little rain today too as well. All that dampness on the ground just make it very. That's definitely a mistake. There's no way they got 3.45. I don't think so. But there are some high rounds. They did have some heavy showers actually on the East End here. I don't know if I believe that 3.45 in Lido Beach though. But 1.05 in Brookhaven, 1.33 at the Gabreski Airport in West Hampton. So some areas managed to get a lot of rain today, and some areas didn't really get that much. We got a few tenths of an inch here in, should I say, a few hundredths of an inch in just 0.002 in Nassau County. Let's see, New Jersey got a little more too. Got around a quarter of an inch of rain, so we're well above the normal now for precipitation for October. We're definitely well above what we're supposed to be, according to these rainfall amounts. That's 3.45. I don't know if this is for real or not. It's saying Reynolds Channel at Point Lookout. I don't know if that's for real. I don't really believe that it is. We would have to find another weather station in that area and look. So we're gonna do that because you never know. It could have been an isolated heavy shower that sat there for a while. So we'll go to the Wonder Map and we'll take a look and see if there indeed was an isolated shower that sat there. So let's do that. Alright, so this would be the area. So precipitation, let's see. Let's over, see. Nah, I think that's a false reading. There's a 0.22 over there, so I think that's a false reading. I think that's a false reading. So we're going to look at some of our other climate statistics for today. We're going to go to the climate sites because we are running well above normal. This might be the warmest October on record. Who knows? And quite wet, too, by the way. So we're going to first look at islip on this, the daily climate report at islip today. And this will point out that the high at islip was 68. The normal high, the normal is supposed to be 62. So well above normal. The record is 74. So the precipitation got 0.28, month to date 2.84. So islip's now running a little above normal when it comes to precipitation. These are the normals for tomorrow. So the normal high for tomorrow is 61. All right, so we are running above normal. Let's look at Central Park as well. So the maximum there was 70. Normal high is supposed to be 62, so it's way above normal. Way above normal. And precipitation is close to normal. But that's well above normal. And I really wish that there was, well, there's Newark. I would like to get one from New Jersey, but this is the only one that's out of Upton from New Jersey. But you could see 72 at Newark was the high, normal value 64. So we're about 8 degrees above normal, probably 8 to 10 degrees above normal today. Quite above normal, and it's going to we're stuck in this, unfortunately, and it really sucks. So we're going to go to the tropics now and look at the latest on Tropical Storm Epsilon. And go to the latest public advisory and the map here. We already looked at the models with Epsilon yesterday, and I'm not going to really... I'll look at them a little bit again today, but Epsilon is likely to become a hurricane soon. As of 8 p.m., its location, 28.2 north, 56.3 west, about 580 miles east-southeast of Bermuda. Maximum staying wind 65 miles an hour. So it is strengthening, and it will become a hurricane soon. Moving northwest at 13 miles an hour, minimum central pressure 992 millibars or 29.30 inches. And the tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 345 miles, mainly to the north of the center. So this is quite a large storm as well. Quite a large storm. Again, this is really, we're seeing a lot of large storms this year with huge extents of wind. And look at that. They keep it a hurricane all the way till Sunday. This thing's going to stay a hurricane and all the way. It's very unusual. It might wind up hitting Europe, as I discussed in yesterday's weather update. Again, highly abnormal. This is the kind of stuff you see in a planet that's warming out of control. So let's go to the current storm information and look at some satellite imagery for Tropical Storm Epsilon. Here it is. Just wait for this to load. And it wants to be slow again. See, it looks like it's stuck at 23%. So I may not be able to get it. I don't know what's going on. Well, it's stuck at 23. We're going to try again. It won't even go there. It's like it's... There, now it's going. So there it is, and it's strengthening. Look at all that convection around it. You can clearly see this thing is definitely in a strengthening cycle, and it's going to continue that way. And that is all because of that upper ridge. So we're going to go to that upper air pattern now, and unfortunately stays out in the ocean and doesn't bother anyone. But to see this unusual setup, again, this is October. We shouldn't be seeing this kind of thing going on. And you have this big upper ridge over here. So if we go and we look at the upper air here, and I was watching Joe Chaffee last night, and he was saying how things have, literally everything changed because of Epsilon. And it is because of the Epsilon and the upper ridge. That's why we're in the southwest flow. We're dealing with summer, late summer-like weather in our area, when we should be dealing with much cooler weather. And originally we were, because if I take the models back all the way to an old run. So if you look at this old run, you'll see there is no big upper ridge. There's a big trough that's coming in, all right? And the models developed this system here. This system would have become Epsilon. And everything looked different. This is what Joe Chaffee was talking about. Everything looked different. Now, this might have been a worse situation for us because it did bring the storm closer to us. But there was a trough. There was a jet stream. There was movement in the atmosphere, basically. And we're not seeing that now. So if I go back to the current model, we have a much broader upper ridge and Epsilon, which, because Epsilon developed, it's almost created this upper ridge that's keeping us above normal. And the trough is mainly in the upper Midwest. They're getting a lot of nice cold weather. They're even getting some snow up there. But we're not seeing any of that. We have the air conditioners on here in the tropical East Coast. You will see here, Epsilon moves very slow because there's very weak wind speeds in this area. It's an upper ridge. Conditions are favorable for this thing to become a hurricane and stay a hurricane for quite some time. The GFS seems to pull it into this trough eventually. And once this moves out of the way, then we can start moving things along in the atmosphere again and cooling off again like we're supposed to in October. But we're going to have to wait until possibly a whole nother week before that happens. So we've got a week of misery before we finally get some cold weather back. And look, it's developing more systems toward the end of the run. So, yeah, this is going to suck for a while, I'm afraid. So let's go ahead and look at the surface. Change this to the surface view so you get the idea. We can also look at the Euro. Before I do that, let me go ahead and look at the European model as well. So here's the European model. Euro is a little slower and takes it a little closer to us. Euro does take it a little closer, has a stronger upper ridge, but then it gets at least in this run, it looks like it's not going to head toward Europe. It's going to get picked up by the trough, and once that happens, it'll help invigorate the trough and bring some cold air into our area. Again, we'll have to wait until October 29th to 30 to really feel that cold air. Until then, we're going to be sweating, or at least I'll be sweating because I cannot deal with the warmth anymore. I need it cold. So let's go to the surface now. So there's Epsilon. You see it, and it keeps it like moving almost due west almost. You see that strong ridge there. Now, if things were a little worse and that ridge was a little further west, it could actually push it toward the east coast. Thank God that's not happening. It's going to move and stay out to sea. But you can see it kind of comes close to, I guess maybe it is similar to the European. It kind of comes close to Nova Scotia. We're going to have to watch that because it's trending. It seems like it's trending west. All right, if I look at the run from yesterday at the same time, 18Z. I guess it's about the same. It's about the same. But it does come close. So again, this is going to come close, and I think there will be some effects, like I said, high surf and stuff like that, as it moves past well offshore. But for us, we're going to be dealing with a crappy warm pattern, and we're going to go to the CONUS view now, and we'll take a closer look at that. So you will see here. We have a ridge that's going to try to build in on Thursday and Friday, at least give us a little less humidity and a little more sunshine. And of course, we've got the stalled cold front here. If we go to the Weather Prediction Center, you'll see that we've got this stalled cold front here, by the way. There it is. It's stalled out. It's not moving to our north and the west. So, again, we got ourselves some stalled front syndrome. So, and that front just doesn't move, doesn't really come any closer. And then we have to wait until Epsilon passes offshore before this next trough comes in. And before we even get into the cool air, we're going to have to deal with a little stall front syndrome. And then finally, it'll start building in hopefully Wednesday into Thursday, and we'll be out of this garbage once and for all. And then that looks like a really good pattern that we get into with some nice cold air coming in. But right now we're stuck in this garbage pattern. And that's what I'm going to call it because that's what it is. So let's go take a look at the chances for precipitation. I'm going to look at the HRRR may not have the. Well, I'll have to look at the 18s, the H triple R, and I'll use this one because this one's. Wow, we have missing information here on this. It looks like. So there's a slight chance of a shower again. It's slight, but there was a little more rain than expected over parts of our area today. Um, I don't really have a lot of the H triple R, so I don't know what happened with that run. Let me look at the 22, the Z1. So here's the 22 Z1. And you can see, again, we got those light showers going to pop just because the air is so humid and so saturated. And then we have this front to our north and west, too, of course. So let's go back to GFS. We'll look at that as well. So you can see, yeah, that shower activity that might occur over a similar time tomorrow that we get. Tomorrow probably very similar to today. And then Thursday we probably won't see the shower activity. Friday we might see it. Saturday as a dissipating front tries to move through. But you can see it kind of gets hung up to the south, and we're dealing with clouds and showers. And more chances for rain Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then maybe finally can get rid of it Wednesday. So we look at our temperatures because we're going to be well above normal. The GFS once again underestimated the dew point, so I think I might look at some of the other models for that as well. But tomorrow's going to be another warm day, maybe even a little warmer than today. Could get it has a 76 over times over and an 80 in Philadelphia. So yeah, New Jersey, you might be getting close to 80 tomorrow. For Long Island, hopefully there'll be a sea breeze, and hopefully it'll keep the temperatures down into the low 70s. It's still well above normal what it's supposed to be. A muggy night tomorrow night, and Thursday's even hotter. And the thing with Thursday is I don't think there's going to be a sea breeze, so everybody's going to be 75 to 80, which we may be breaking some records on Thursday. And then for Friday, a little cooler with like maybe a little more of an onshore flow. Saturday, we bake again. We get back into the 70s again. And we got to wait for this front to come through and then drop things down Sunday. But it's going to be a cloudy, damp day probably with highs in the mid to upper 50s. So it's really going to suck pretty much. I'm not going to go beyond that. You'd have to, like I said, you have to wait until an actual, because we're going to be dealing with this above normal weather is Monday, Tuesday. We finally get rid of it on Wednesday. So we have a whole week of this crap to deal with, unfortunately. And then hopefully it's out of here because it needs to be out of here. It's not normal for October. It's very abnormal for October. And it's going to mess up the fall foliage because, you need cold weather to get the good colors. If you don't get cold weather, then the leaves are just going to be, the colors are going to be dull. So let's go to the dew points. So here are the dew points on the GFS, underestimated. I think, it looks pretty close to accurate, but you see, it's going to be humid tomorrow, maybe even more humid tomorrow, I think. Tomorrow's going to really be humid. You'll see south winds, though, so, yep. South Shore, I guess, will be the place to be because up inland it's going to be warm. For Thursday, though, you'll see that we've got not much of a sea breeze, light west and north winds, and slightly lower dew points, but it's going to still feel uncomfortable. And then Friday, you can see this is almost like a little backdoor front that tries to set up. We'll probably be on the edge of that. Here's Saturday, and you can see this front trying to approach us and bring us relief, and it does move through, but then stalls to the south on Sunday. And then the humidity surges right back up into the area on Monday. And then Tuesday, we will deal with more humidity, and then it's not out of here. And finally, this crap gets whipped out of here on Wednesday and Thursday, and we finally have more October-like weather. So yeah, it's not great. And I'm going to use the NAM too for the dew points, so let's go to that too as well. Because I think the GFS just underestimates them sometimes. So yeah, look at these dew points. So that's a little more like it. Yeah, dew points well into the 60s, and look at that. Stays that way tomorrow. We'll deal with the humidity. Yes, humidity in October. Who would have thought? And then Thursday too. This cool air tantalizingly close. Dry air in Massachusetts and upper New England. We're not going to see that. We're going to continue to be sweltering. And I say sweltering because this is not normal for October. And there's the outer edge of Epsilon right there. And we will go and look at the models, I guess, on Epsilon a little bit in this update. But next I want to go to the sky cover because along with all the the humidity. We're gonna have plenty of clouds around too, of course. So let's go to it. Back this up. So here is tomorrow. Plenty of clouds around. We do get some clearing in the skies on Thursday, but it's going to be uncomfortable. And then for Friday, probably starts off with some sunshine and then clouds. But again, it's not going to be a nice blue sky with this warm, humid air around. That's for sure. Here's Saturday. There might be some subsidence that might give us some sunshine around the periphery of Epsilon. We could see that. So we might actually have a nice sky on Saturday. But Sunday, the clouds roll back in. And then we got to wait until Wednesday before we can clear this all out of here. Wednesday and Thursday, finally. We can hopefully get this mess out of here. I will look at the NAM as well. So here is the NAM. Plenty of clouds tomorrow. The clouds kind of just hang on all day long. There you go. Plenty of clouds around. So they just hang around all day long. Let me see. All right, now I'm going to change the regions. So we're going to go to the NAM 12 kilometer, and let's see. We're going to see if we can get that region that's tropics. Oh, this doesn't have a tropical region. Oh, okay. It does have southeast Canada. It does have that. So let's see if we can pull. Let's see if Epsilon shows up in here. I don't think it's going to. No. You have to have the GFS. It's the only one that's going to show the tropical Atlantic, I think, the North Atlantic, which is what we want to show here, because we want to look at Epsilon again, and I want to look at the wind field on this. So let's get the wind. Where is the wind? Let's see it here. Doesn't have it up here? Oh, there it is. It's in a different area. So this is Epsilon here, and you can see it yet. It's really hard to tell because the resolution is low, but you can see the deeper colors developing as we head into the weekend. This thing is going to really strengthen, and it's going to be a hurricane. Actually, it's interesting. If you look at the upper air, it looks like it takes it into the Arctic, but no, this actually takes it toward the UK still. So yeah, that we're gonna have to watch this thing. This is gonna be. It's not gonna really impact anyone, but it's a highly anomalous storm that will have to be watched because it might have effects on Europe. Again, very unusual to see this type of thing. And again, we're up to Epsilon, and we're not done yet because if we move it along, again, well, there's something going right there maybe. And then if you look down here, you see other lows developing. So we're not done yet. This is going to be a record-breaking tropical year. And I'll keep you posted on Epsilon as we watch this. Again, this highly anomalous weather pattern that we are in. Another sign of the dire straits that this planet is in as we endure the consequences of our lifestyle, our polluting lifestyle, burning fossil fuels. So, thank you for watching and take care.